Hello and welcome to Man's Model Moments. Today we're having a look at a release by ICM in their 1/48 scale aircraft range, and this is the US Aerial Target Drone set. These have been released individually before, but it makes sense that they would do a combined set. Once I remove the top sleeve and battle with the sturdy box, we can eventually see what's inside. We actually have two sets of bagged sprues here, one for each drone and each containing 2 frames. Below these are the first set of instructions. Opening these up, we can find the surprisingly large decal sheet contained within. The second drone's instructions are beneath these. And lastly, we have the ubiquitous ICM paint catalogue. So looking at the instructions for the historical first of these drones, the KDA-1, we have the usual ICM format. Opening them up, there are the sprue frame layouts first showing the unused parts, which are the pylons if you want to use these on an aircraft, and then the construction steps, which are simple and clear for this little drone. The rear sheet is a full colour painting guide, and as target drones these are very bright and eye-catching. I was surprised that you're given 3 different options here. I didn't imagine that they would be that varied. Next up are the instructions for the later Q-2C, again in the familiar format with picture, description and paint reference. Opening these up, the whole inner cover is dedicated to the frame guide this time, including those aircraft mounting pylons. Construction of the drone is handled on just one page here, with the second dedicated to the slightly more complex trolley for this model. The painting guides for this drone are larger than from the KDA-1, with a single variant laid out over an entire page. This is not our only variant however, as we get another 3 sides of these lovely colour guides, giving us 4 variants in total. That includes this overall white navy version if bright colours aren't your thing. Onto decals, and once again we'll start with the earlier drone. You get national markings, US Air Force and Navy stenciling, yellow stripes, and the menacing shark mouth and eyes here. Quite a lot for such a small model. The 34A drone's decal sheet is even more impressive, though its mouth and eyes are a little more comical than the prior ones. As well as all the stenciling and such, you get colour markings for several of the variants, and these complete tail irregular checkers, which would be difficult to recreate by masking. Overall, it's a really impressive sheet. As I mentioned, both of these kits have 2 frames, but they are very unequal in their size, with the trolley for the KDA-1 being tiny. Anyway, the sprue for the actual drone has the body moulded as other aircraft in 2 pieces, split longitudinally, and features delicate surface detail. All the other components are well cast, with some examples of some very fine pieces like the pitot tube and rack braces. The tiny trolley frame has more plastic in the sprues than in the components, and some of these are tiny, like the wheels. ICM has taken its usual care in protecting the delicate items though, which shows great care in the design of such a small part of the overall kit. The later drone is essentially laid out in exactly the same way, just with a larger body. The optional aircraft pylon is pretty good, and again you can see finesse both in the delicate pieces and in the moulded detail across the other parts here. The trolley for this drone is much more substantial however, with proper wheels as you can see. There are again some very delicate items here, but all are well protected by ICM's characteristic contoured sprues. Now at this point of the video, I just want to thank all of my Patreon and YouTube channel members. I mentioned that I was going to put this mid-roll in future videos in my prior video on this, and I had to add a few more names onto the list since then, so thank you so much to all of you. Your help at this time is very much appreciated. If you are able to become a channel member, it really does contribute a huge amount to me being able to keep the channel going, and at the moment it's my preferred platform for support. Looking in close up to the pieces, we can see delicate engraved detail across the drone body and on the wings here, as well as how fine items like that pitot tube is. This engraved detail is present across most of these parts, including the aircraft pylon here. Not only is this detail very fine, but you can also see how crisp all of this casting is, from the gap in the fuselage for the wing to the tips of the wings themselves. You even get detail on the tiny compressor of the jet engine, and you can also see how fine these sway braces are. This is that delicate little trolley, with very fine casting which will require careful removal. You can also see the tiny, almost caster wheels, which must have made this difficult to handle in real life. The larger drone shows exactly the same level of surface detail, including the intake fan and jet exhaust, the delicate engraving carries on here, and you can just see how crisp that moulding is from the pointed rear of the drone. Here's more of that recessed detail, and again some precise tooling in these small finlets. The beefier trolley shows some really good moulded in hub detail on the wheels, and once again, all these main structural components feature some really good levels of detailing. Now, target drones may not be the first thing you think of when aircraft and modelling come to mind. They might appear boring or mundane, but I think that's a bit of a red herring when it comes to model making, especially with this set. If you think about it, these are ideal mojo makers for any aircraft modeller. They're not a bad size, about the same length as a World War II fighter in 1/72nd scale. They don't have a cockpit or complex interior you have to make and paint before assembly, and they have a bunch of ridiculously flashy paint schemes to indulge in. This set is about £20 RRP in the UK, but you can pick it up for around 18, which is a really good value for two aircraft with trolleys. You can build these up completely without putting a lick of paint on them until you're finished, and they're a great practice set for painting red and yellows on your models. In short, I think this set is a must-buy for pretty much any modeller, bar the absolute beginner. If you're an armour modeller thinking about aircraft, these allow you to ease into it without the pain of a cockpit to deal with. If you're an aircraft modeller, these allow you a quick mojo build with an exploration of colour that is unusual for most of us. A beginner may struggle with some of the very small parts or in removing the more delicate pieces, but again, this is a great way for a developing modeller to practice these sorts of things on items which aren't critical to your main workbench builds. They're also just fun. I'm really looking forward to making the later drone with shark mouth, googly eyes and eccentric checkerboard tail. When else do you get the chance to say that? As always, my thanks to ICM for these super fun review samples, and I've absolutely no hesitation in recommending these to pretty much anyone. I think they're an ideal mojo build for most, and at £18, they're exceptional value. That's all for this instalment of Man's Model Moments. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more like it, and share this video with others you think would also enjoy it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and if you're feeling generous, then I also have a Patreon, which is absolutely the best way of helping me to grow the channel and produce more content like this. With that, I hope you have plenty of modelling moments of your own, and I look forward to welcoming you on the next video.